Well, hey Divi Nation, welcome to a brand new Divi use case live stream where each week we show you how to add new design and functionality to your Divi websites. And in this tutorial, we're going to be showing you how you can create a sticky email opt-in that will draw some attention. So this will be useful for you bloggers out there looking to convert some leads, maybe boost conversions a little bit. And we'll learn some cool things about the Divi sticky options as well. Don't forget to check the video description for more info on this use case. Let's go ahead and jump in and get started. All right, so welcome everyone. I just want to make sure and check with you guys, make sure I'm coming in loud and clear. Give me a thumbs up in the chat. Make sure that you can hear me okay. The stream's coming in all right. All right, who's going to be the first one? Let's see, hopefully you can hear me. Okay, so just making sure, double checking. We are going to be covering a simple yet effective email opt-in that's going to be sticky. This is the effect we're looking to achieve here. On my screen, you'll see a blog post template. These are one of our pre-made templates that we can download. I'll show you how to do that. And then as we scroll down, you'll see once we get to the comment section, you'll see that newsletter is stuck at the top of that section and it stays at the bottom as you scroll until it comes to rest in its original spot there. So that's a subtle yet effective way to keep that form in the forefront. We'll also show you how you can add a hover option as well. So on this example, you can see that the email opt-in pops up there, and when you stay stuck at the bottom of the section or the bottom of the browser window, and then when you hover over it, it'll pop up and you can enter your username, or not username, your name and email, and click subscribe. So that's where we're going today. Hopefully we'll learn some stuff, and of course you can ask any questions you like in the chat. Looks like we've already started. Looks like we have a Deli has some, I think he's clapping, or he or she, and looks like we're good to go. Don't be shy here in the chat. Let us know where you're from. Hopefully we can get to all your questions if you have them. All right, so Norman says hi from Germany. Welcome. Welcome, Rida. And Roy. All right, so we're going to jump right in here and get started. So as we do with a lot of our designs, we like to kickstart them with a pre-made template or pre-made layout to just kind of get things rolling, so we don't have to build everything from scratch to get the example we're looking for. And so what we're going to do here is we're going to import one of our pre-made blog post templates. And you can get the one we're going to be using from our blog. It's the free blog post template for Divi's business consultant layout pack. And to get it, you'll simply need to go down to the spot where you enter your email and click to download once the email has been entered. And once you download the file to your computer, it's going to be a zip file. You just need to unzip it, and it'll be a JSON file that will import into your theme builder. So once that's downloaded, you'll go to the theme builder. And you can do that by going to WordPress dashboard, navigating to Divi theme builder. And you want to go over here to the top right to this portability button or icon. And then you're going to click the import tab, and you're going to choose that file from your computer. I'm just going to drag it in there. And then I'm going to click import and that will show up here. Here it is on the right. It'll automatically be assigned to all posts as a template. And I'm going to go ahead and save the changes, make sure that takes effect. And then what we're going to do now is we're going to jump in. First of all, I have some previously let me just disable this one for a moment. Okay, so once we have it uploaded, we're going to edit the custom body template of that post that we just imported by clicking the edit icon. That'll bring us into the edit all posts body layout. The editor here. So once that loads, you'll see all the dynamic elements of this post template. We're going to scroll down till we get to that email opt-in. That's what we're going to be customizing today. And of course, you can build one from scratch if you like. It'll work just the same. I just want to make sure and, hit the ground running here. So there's our email opt-in. And what we're going to want to do is, of course, add the sticky element to this opt-in, but we want to limit it to the section. In other words, we want this email opt-in to become stuck within this section, this comment section here, so that it begins its sticky position once we scroll to that section, and it stays at the bottom throughout the section till it comes to rest back in its original location. Problem is, though, the way this blog post template is set up currently, it is already within a section. So if we set it to, for example, if I open up my email opt-in and we go to our advanced tab and we go to our scroll effects, that's where we find our sticky position. If I stick it, let's say I want to stick it to the bottom right here, the top sticky limit, we want it to be to the section. But because it's already in a section without much room to work with, it's not going to have the effect we want. It's not going to really move at all or become stuck because it has no room to become stuck. And it looks like I'm already, it's not playing well right now. So what we want to do is kind of move it up to this section. And to do that, all we're going to do is basically recreate this design with a row instead of a section, and then put it inside this section. All right. Looks like we have a few more people joining us. Hello, Amen and Keshav. All right. Thanks for the thank you, and I appreciate it. All right, so let's go on. All right, so let's add a new row. So underneath in my comments section here of my post template, I'm going to add another row right below it. Again, so it's within that same section. I'm going to give it a 1-column row. And let's go ahead and give it a matching background. We're going to give it the same background as that one below in that section. So I'm not going to add a module just yet. I'm going to edit my row settings, go to my background, and it's a dark background. Let's see, which one is it? I'm just going to go to the section here, open up my background. So it's a dark background. I'm going to copy this hex code there, and I'm just going to paste it in the background color of this row. Okay, so now I have that matching color. So I want to make sure that this row spans the full width, just like my section does down there. So go to my sizing and go to equalize. Oh, no, not that. Don't need that. Go to my sizing and go to my width. I'm going to do 100%. And then max width the same, make it 100%. Now it's going to span the full width of my browser there. All right. And I'm going to give it a little bit of margin. As you can see, it's kind of snug up against that row that contains my contact form there, or comment form there. So I'm going to give it a top margin of like 15 VW. Oops. Let's try that again. There you go. And let's take out the padding. We don't really need any padding in that row. And then that's that for our row. So it's pretty skinny right now because we don't have a module in it yet. So what we're going to do is simply drag in our email opt-in into that row above. There you go. So now you can see it's really long. We're going to fix that. So let's go ahead and open up well, actually, I don't need this section below anymore. So I'm just going to delete that. And I'm going to open up my email opt-in settings. This is where I'm going to go to my advanced tab. I'm going to go ahead and add the sticky position first. So go to my sticky position, make sure it's stick to bottom. And for my top sticky limit, I'm going to limit it to the section. This will cause the email opt-in to stick at the bottom of the browser window when scrolling through the section. Of course, before coming to rest in its parent row, just to again show you that effect here. See, as the email opt-in comes into view, it'll stay stuck in this section at the bottom till it comes to rest at the original position. If I were to give it a sticky limit of body area or none, it would stay stuck at the bottom of the browser, even at the very top of your page. So throughout the whole page, it'll always stay stuck and visible. So if that's what you're looking for, you can do that as well. All right, so that takes care of my sticky position. Let's go ahead and make a few adjustments to the design of our email opt-in. Go to my design tab, go to layout, and I want to make sure that the body is on top and the form is on the bottom. Then I want to go to my title text, and just going to adjust the title text size a bit, bring it down to like 32 pixels. Basically, I just want to make sure that it doesn't jump to a new line because I'm about to shrink the width of this module. So I'm going to go to my sizing and set the max width to 600 pixels. All right, and make sure the module alignment is set to center. That'll put it right in the middle there. Excuse me. And I think it comes with an animation. I'm just going to take that out because I don't want it conflicting with my scroll or sticky position. Okay. And I'm going to save this. I'm going to save my layout settings, and I'm going to go ahead and save the theme builder settings as well. And I'm going to view it on a live site here, or a live post. All right, so as I scroll down, you'll see there it is. It's stuck in my section. That's what we want, until coming to rest in its original position. All right, so let's go back in and edit our custom body template again. And now we're going to add some sticky position styling. But before we do that, Let's go ahead and check the comments for a little bit. Let's see. Alexander says Divi's opt-in doesn't work in the right way. Oh, okay. So evidently, it allows an opt-in only once, and after another try with the same email, it sends an error. Okay. So that's an ongoing issue, evidently, with support. I actually was not aware of that. Hopefully, we can get that addressed. If any of you have experience with it, the same error, and have a solution, feel free to post it here. So, okay. Well, thanks for pointing that out, Alexander. Hopefully we get that settled for you. If not here, of course, support. Hopefully we'll get back to you soon. I know that's frustrating. Okay, so adding sticky position styling, that's what we're gonna do next. So I'm gonna go back to my email, opt-in. You can see that it has its sticky position, but we want to edit the style of our sticky position by, once it has the sticky position, we'll have some different styling options now that are available within our option groups here. For example, if I go to the content tab, go down to background. Let's see, right now it has a white background. But I can, if you see here, there's a thumbtack or a thumbnail icon. That's your sticky icon. And if I enable that, I'll have a new sticky tab here where I can control those sticky design settings. Basically, it will only apply to that element once it's in its sticky placement. All right, so we're gonna make sure and give that, or select the sticky tab there and give it a new background. Let's see. Give it a dark background color there. And then we'll go over, because we need a light text, title text and body text now, but we only want to apply it to the sticky state. So let's click on the sticky option for our title text color, and let's give it a white color. There we go. And the same for the body text. Let's scroll down to my body text options and make sure, give it a white body text color on sticky as well. So that looks good. We can also adjust like the size of it as well. If you want a more compact view of the form once it's in its sticky placement, and then kind of expand back to its original size, you can do that. For example, let's just give it a sticky max width of 500 pixels instead of 600. And you can see now that my header is jumping on 2 lines. So we'll need to make some adjustments to either the padding or the size of the title as well on the sticky position. Let's just do padding here. So I'm going to do padding. I'm going to click my sticky element options, and I'm going to give it a padding of like 18 on the top. And for the bottom, I'm going to give it a 102. And this is purposeful because the original padding, top and bottom padding, equaled 120 pixels. So the top was 60, the bottom was 60. And I want to make sure that that's equal, because I want to make sure that there's no like jumping effect when it comes to the stuck position. If you change the height of the element, sometimes it'll have a little slight jumping effect. So just be aware of that whenever you're, making adjustments with the sticky position styling. All right, so that looks good. Let me get rid of or make it 30 pixels on the left and right. Now we have a nice, more compact view of our email opt-in there. And let's go ahead and save our changes. See what it looks like now on a live post. So there you go, stays stuck as I scroll down, and then it'll come back to its original style once it gets to its bottom placement. All right, so that's looking good. One last thing we're gonna do to it is add a hover effect. This is just kind of like a fun bonus option if you want. If you don't like the user experience or whatever, you don't have to use it, obviously. It might be just better to leave it visible throughout the whole scrolling process. But to do that, just open up the email opt-in settings again, and we're going to go to our transform options. Now, whenever you're wanting to move things on hover, it's always a good option to do the transform options because it doesn't really mess with the placement of that element within the HTML or the doc. It just kind of moves it around without affecting the actual placement in on the document. And as opposed to, for example, if I used margin or something like that, it would actually mess with the other elements around it as well and move them in unpredictable ways. So transform is always good to use if you're looking to create a hover effect that involves, rotating it or moving it around. So we're going to do the translate. So transform translate basically allows you to move it around however you want. So if I can move this around. So I don't really well, what I'm trying to do here is, let me go ahead and put that back in its original spot. I'm trying to basically lower it below the viewport on once it's in its sticky state. So to do that, I'm gonna click on my sticky options, click on my sticky design element, and then once I'm in my transform translate tab, I'm gonna unclick this link key so that it doesn't affect both the X and the Y axis. I just want to add it to the Y axis, and I'm going to do 85%. So what that's going to do is bring it down. That's 85 pixels, sorry. Brings it down 85% of its own height, basically. So whatever is the height of my module or email opt-in, it's going to move it down 80%, 85% of its own height, that much distance downward, which is along the y-axis. So if I wanted to move it up, I would add a negative 85, and that would move it up 85%. All right, so this is basically going to hide it, but not completely, because we want to make sure, and I'll just show you well, I don't have that example visible yet, but again, but we want to keep this top portion of that email opt-in visible. So we're not going to hide it 100%. We want to keep that top portion visible so that we can hover over it. Okay, so now I need to deploy my hover options. So I have a sticky styling. Now I want to add a hover styling, or to style the hover state, so that when we hover over this module, I'm going to bring this y-axis back to 0. I'm just going to put 0% to make sure it brings it back to that original placement on hover. Okay, let's check out the result there. I think we're good. Let's go back to our live post. All right, so as I scroll down, it should pop up once we get to the comment section. Here we go. Up, as you can see, it's being hidden way too much. And I know why. It's because I have some margin in there. So this is a good lesson. Always check your spacing. For example, this module came with the pre-design or the pre-designed layout or whatever. It has some margin in there that creates this effect. So I'm gonna go to spacing. You see how it has this negative margin, the top and bottom, that creates this overlap. And that's messing with my, my dimensions and throwing it off a bit. So I'm just gonna take out that negative margin and save that out. I forgot that step, I apologize. All right, let me refresh. Now when I come down, you can see there it is. There it pops up at the very bottom there, and when I hover over it, it pops up. All right, let's just take a quick look at what this might look like on a phone. Scroll down, let me refresh. A lot more to scroll on mobile, obviously. Once I get to my comments, there it pops up. But as you can see, I'll need to change my my title text size on mobile to make sure it stays on one line. But when I hover over it, it'll pop up like that. Okay, so let's go ahead and make that quick adjustment. So my title text, go to my size, title text size, and when I get to my tablet, let's just shrink it down to, let's say, like 24, something like that. Save it out. All right, refresh real quick. See if that does it. Yeah, that does it. And then, of course, you might need to adjust. Since I've maybe made it too small, you'll need to adjust it a little bit so you don't have any of those little white letters showing. But that's pretty much it. This is a simple, subtle way to kind of show that email opt-in sooner as the user scrolls, draw some attention to it. Let's check the questions in the chat if you have any. All right, so welcome Chris from the UK and Bartas. Welcome. Hello from Poland. You're a longtime affiliate and for WordPress here. Awesome. Glad to have you. Doesn't look like, let's see. Oh, Lewis says thank you. Well, my pleasure. And welcome to you guys. I think we're good on questions. Let me check one more time. Alexander says thank you in advance. Hopefully you can get that figured out. All right, so if there's no more questions, I will go ahead and bring this live stream to a close. All right, so that's all I got for you this week. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. We sure do hope that you love this new email opt-in, the sticky email opt-in template. Of course, you can go to the blog post to check it out and maybe get a download for you to try out. Make sure to subscribe to our blog newsletter, our YouTube channel, and like us on Facebook. And make sure you click to get those notifications so that we can let you know every single time we have something new for you. And we'll be back here next Tuesday with another Divi use case live stream at 3 p.m. Eastern time. And don't forget, this Friday we have the weekly WP Roundup at 3 p.m. Eastern as well. And you can also take advantage of our, or check the video description for the blog post, that goes along with this tutorial for more information. And thanks again, guys. We look forward to seeing you in our next video. Bye-bye.